Namaskar and very good afternoon to CIET NCERT's another live and interactive session. My name is Deepak Mishra and you are watching this online training program live on PM eVIDYA channel number 6 to 12. And apart from that, you can also connect with us on our official YouTube channel which goes by the name NCERT Official and NCERT PM eVIDYA class 6 to 12. So let me give you a brief idea about online training, that this is a 5-day, 5-hour of online training, and today is day 3. And today on day 3, we will be talking, learning and discussing a lot of things on a special tool, which is Magic School AI under the umbrella theme. That is AI tools in education. Till the time in last 2 days, we had learned and discussed a lot of things, especially with the umbrella theme topic, as I mentioned you earlier, which is AI tools in education, how we can get benefits, how we can use them. So today on day 3, we will be interacting and learning a lot of things on an important tool, that is Magic School AI. And before we start this session and before I introduce all of you viewers with today's guest, let me tell you that you can also connect with us, reach us by calling us on a number, that is 8800444059. This is a number where you can call and you can ask your questions, answers, you can give your feedback, suggestions as well. We also do have a dedicated email ID. It is training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in. On this email address, you can write down your questions, you can give your suggestions as well. And apart from that, you can also join us on our YouTube channels, which goes by the name NCERT Official. During this live session, you can visit the live chat box, comment section, you can answer your suggestions, you can just answer the questions and you can connect with us. So let's begin this session, and please join with me to welcome today's guest who had joined us on this special day 3 topic, which I told you earlier, that is Magic School AI. We will be learning and discussing this tool. So we are joined by Miss Neeru Mittal ma'am. She is PGT in Computer Science at Shaheed Rajpal DAV Public School. Neeru ma'am, very good afternoon. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, sir. Good afternoon.
So Neeru ma'am, in last 2 days, we had learned and discussed a lot of things in important tool. So today we are on day 3, and I hope that today also we will learn a lot of things on a special tool, which is named Magic School AI. So please help me and all of our viewers, what special we will learn today and how we can get the benefit of this tool, which is named by Magic School AI.
Thank you, Deepak. So carrying on from here, I would first of all like to thank all of you for joining this session. Magic School AI is basically an amalgamation of tools. It's not a single tool, but we have almost 80 plus tools under one umbrella, and that is the magic of Magic School AI. So we are going to learn a tool which is, I would say, a magic wand for all the teachers. As all of us know, the teacher burnout has really increased nowadays, and almost 44% of teachers in a survey mentioned that yes, teaching has become a full-time job, and there's a lot of stress and there's a lot of burnout involved. So Magic School AI basically is a set of tools which not only help teachers do mundane tasks which have to be performed again and again, but they also help teachers actually plan around their pedagogy and help teachers get ideas on how to keep today's digital generation engaged and bring about the learning outcomes. So in today's agenda, we are going to know about Magic Tool, what it is, the best practices for AI in education, how to navigate, how to use and modify Magic Tool's outputs, how to copy or export whatever you have created. There's a special section on Raina, which is the Magic School AI chatbot. And of course, we'll be talking about how you can share your resources. So first of all, why do we have to go with Magic School AI? As I said earlier, there's a lot of hours of work involved in a teacher's day-to-day routine nowadays, especially after COVID. We have been tasked, and we all are expected to perform a number of tasks on a digital mode, creating assignments, creating question papers. And now with the new NEP policy, we also are supposed to create rubrics for almost all the lessons which we are giving to students. We need to create lesson plans which are project-based learning. We need to create experiential learning project plans. We need to create engaging lesson plans for science, and very interesting prompts for storytelling. So at times it becomes really, it becomes very overwhelming for any teacher. So Magic School can actually save hours of those time by helping lesson plan, creating lesson plans, differentiating the instructions required for different students, and also it can be used to communicate with parents, with families and so on. It also empowers educators to help students build their AI skills and competencies. So there is a proper section for students tools, which can be taken up by students with the help of the teacher or under the teacher's guidance. Magic School is very easy to use. It is very easy, very compact. Let me just give you an example. For example, if we are using ChatGPT to generate a lesson plan, we have to use the same window for generating a lesson plan, same window for generating a rubric, and so on. But in Magic School, we have all those components under one umbrella. We don't need to, go from one place to the other and talk about what we need. We have everything over it at one place. It is basically a set of 80 plus AI tools which are free to use. Of course, if you go for higher versions, there is some sort of payment involved, but as of now, we can use it very easily, and having 80 plus tools in the teacher's kitty is itself remarkable. How can Magic School's AI help teachers? We can create instruction. There are a number of things which we can do. I am just highlighting some of them. Like we can create instructional materials. That means instructional materials always include lesson plans, rubrics, assessments, feedback forms, and a number of other things, So those instructional materials can be created, and they can be created in a jiffy. I mean, it can be done in seconds. And of course, we can use those with our modifications. We have every teacher, all of us, we know that we have different set of students in our classrooms. Not all 40 or 50 are same. So creating differentiated questions becomes a huge task for us. So we can use Magic School's differentiated instructions like sentence starters to create such instructions. We can engage with parents, like there is a very interesting option, like there is a class newsletter which can be used to inform parents of what all has been going on in the class. Now, for example, how does this come into play? Like we usually write a note in the diary of the students as to what is what happened, or maybe what is going to happen, or we have PTMs. So having a class newsletter brings everything which we have done in the class under one paper or under one file, and it can be sent to students automatically. It can also be used to create academic content. Academic content would mean that we want a relevant, engaging content for our classroom. So that also can be done using Magic School. These are just a few of the things which we can do. Now, before diving into any tool, a very important thing I would like to mention over here is, see, AI is everywhere and it is there to stay. And there's no escaping AI. We need to learn it and we need to use it responsibly. So when we're using AI, we should not be just generating a lesson plan or generating a rubric or generating a sentence starter, an assignment, anything, and just use it. We have to check whatever we have generated. After all, we are the teachers. Just generating something and using it in the classroom right away is not done. So we must check for bias of the content which we have generated. Bias as in, I hope the content does not hurt any particular community's sentiments. It is culturally responsive, and also it includes all the minorities. That means there should be should not be any content which cannot be used by any child who is maybe a slow learner or maybe having some difficulties. So we must check for that. We must check for accuracy. That means whatever content has been generated is accurate. The facts properly checked? Are they aligned with what I actually want to teach in my class? It should not be that, for example, I am teaching a lesson on let's say photosynthesis, and I'm getting data which is which is of exotic flowers, which do not even exist in our countries. So we must have data which is relevant. 80-20 approach should be used. That means obviously 80% the AI will be generating the content, but 20% you also have to contextualize it appropriately, review it, and maybe change it. So always use the 80-20 approach when you're using AI. As I said, judgment matters. That means if you feel it's right, you can use it in your classroom, go ahead. But if you feel that, yeah, fine, this might not be, what I really want to teach my students, then please do not use it. One very, very important point here is all of us know that AI has just come up in the last, let's say, 3 to 4 years. And why is that so? Because till the last 2021, like for example, if I talk of ChatGPT, the data which was on which it was trained was still 21, and it is being trained now with new data. But we must make sure that whatever knowledge that AI has been fed by humans to a certain date. So suppose if you want to inquire about events which are happening after that date, then you might not get the correct answer. For example, I'll tell you something which happened with me in my classroom, like 2 years back. There was a session I was taking with some other students of some other place in India, and I happened to ask them a question about who is a CM, and they gave the correct answer, of course. And my chat GPT I was actually demonstrating chat GPT, and chat GPT gave me the wrong answer. So of course I had to check it. I had to go to Google, I had to do the web search, and I had to check it. So you must know whatever data is being generated is between the time till which the machine has been trained. A very, very important fact here is at all cost we must protect the privacy of our students. If there is any details of any students involved in any lesson plan or in any classroom material, we must not submit it. Even accidentally, we should not be submitting the information, because all this information which is going to any of these chatbots or any of these AI tools is public information. So we have to be very careful about the privacy policy. So once we know what best practices we must be following for using AI, we can obviously go in for the tool. So remember one thing, a responsible teacher can only create classrooms which are truly engaging and which are beaming with whatever AI is going to teach the latest. So getting started with AI, which is, the Magic School. There is a code on the screen for the viewers who are online, and there's also a link, app.magicschool.ai. So how do we create an account? Once you write app.magicschool.ai, a screen like this will appear where you will get an option. I'll be using Magic School AI as a student or an educator. So obviously, as an educator, you can click on this. You can always, you can just notice here that a student has age limit 18 and an educator has 18 plus. So you can click on that. After that, we have to go to create an account. It's very simple to create an account. If you already have, if you have a Microsoft ID or you have a Google ID or any other ID, you can create an account using that and sign into Magic School AI. So let me just click on this. And here, my account is already opened. So what I'll do here is I'll just show it to you. This is how it looks like. This is the Magic School board here. You can see on the left hand side, we have Magic Tools. Magic Tools have two categories, teacher tools, output history. I'll come to this in a while. You have the chatbot, then you also have Magic Student. So there are tools for students, there are rooms, resources, which we'll be doing maybe in the next session, and Magic School Labs. Teacher tools are given here, and you can see, I'll just go through, this is, these are the different tools which are here. You can actually go through this. Chat with Raina. Raina, as I said, is a chatbot. Tool recommendations. What tools do you need? This is something which will not be there in many of the AI tools which we have learned. We can discover the best Magic tool which you would require as per your specific need. So this can be used here. Image generator, text rewriter, MCQs, lesson plan generator, and a number of other tools. As I said, we have Rubric generator, which is very easy to use. Writing feedback, we have a professional email communication. Like nowadays, we also have to do a lot of email communication. Many of the teachers have got many portfolios. Like for example, they might be the science in charge, they might be the academic in charge, or maybe CBSE in charge, or maybe NCERT in charge. So what they can do is they can use this professional email generator to create emails. Text proofreader, you might be having, you might have written a letter or something and you want to see whether the spellings are correct, the grammar is correct, context is correct. You can use the text proofreader tool here. A very, very interesting tool is YouTube video questions. You can actually, paste the transcript of a YouTube video. For example, you are teaching a lesson on ancient history in the classroom and you find out a YouTube video on that and you want to show that YouTube video. After showing, you also want the students to answer a question. So you can click on this and you can write down the script, you can copy paste the script and some questions will be generated. We'll come to this. Text summarizer, simple. Then report card comments, another mundane task which can be done using Magic School AI. A number of other tools are there. 5E model lesson plan. 5E model lesson plan are very interesting STEM plans, or we can use them for science, technology, and maths. Tools, I mean, it is a tool which can create 5E model lesson plans: engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate. I mean, you can obviously generate the lesson plan and then you can use it according to yourself. We have choice board on universal learning design. We have text leveler. Another very, very interesting one is the prompt assistant. That means if you do not know how to, I mean, if you've written a prompt and you feel, okay, this is not a good prompt, or if you have just written 3 to 4 keywords, it can actually create a prompt for you. Teacher jokes, like for back to school jokes. We also have a song generator, which I have used in my, in a number of lessons, where I can actually turn my lesson into a song, a concept into a song. For example, looping can be taught using a song that is there in here. And you can see a number of other tools are here. We have a tool which will generate a social emotional learning lesson plan. We have vocabulary based questions. We also have class newsletter, as I discussed earlier. Assignment scaffolder, that means creating assignments and breaking them into small manageable units. Tongue twister generator, survey creator, you can create like nowadays, again, according to NEP, we must do some action research as teachers. So creating a survey becomes important. So survey creator is there. We also have, as I said earlier, also we have Magic School for student ideas, advanced learning plan. We also have individual learning plan and so on. So there are a number of, you can see, as I said, 80 plus tools which can be used. You can have coaches, sports practice. I mean, there is everything, there is something for all teachers in here, science teachers, maths teachers, and so on. And we'll be covering all this in a while. Now, moving forward, how to navigate the Magic School platform. We can search for a tool, as I was just listing the tools on the screen. I can type the name of a tool. Another very important, as I said, is I told you about is recommendations or filter by category. What tools are recommended according to your specific needs? You can also favorite your tool. For example, I like using the 5E lesson plan for all my lessons, or I like creating a scaffolding assignment for my lesson plan. So I can add it to my favorites. So I don't have to go looking for the tool. I can simply put it in the favorite. And I can obviously, just like I scrolled, I can scroll through all the tools. I can favorite it. I can also, there is something called tool recommendations. As I'm saying again and again, you can mention for which grade you want the tool and for what you want the tool. Now, let me just explain this wait a minute. Okay. here. So if I go to tool recommendation now, here it is. I click on this. And as you click on this, you can select the grade level. So you can see the amount. I mean, I can have a number of grades here, right from first grade till 12th grade. You have a number of tools here. For example, I'm 6th grade. I have to generate a lesson plan on 6th grade, or I want to create some sort of, maybe some sort of rubric. So look at the prompt here. I'm a special educator teacher who teaches maths. I can write something else. For example, I am a computer science teacher teaching maybe grade 6. I want to introduce the concept of variables to make it interesting or to make it engaging or whatever you want. Please suggest a tool, right? This is how, which tool do I need? So I can simply create on generate. I can click on generate. And here are the tools. You can use Magic School for educators. For students, these tools are there. I mean, you can see a number of tools are coming up here, and you can use any of these tools to generate your lesson plan. So you don't have to scroll through. You can give the recommendation. I mean, you can give the specific requirement, and it is going to tell you which tool to use. Now coming back. You can try all this yourself at home, and please don't forget to use it responsibly, as I'm saying. So do that. Let's move forward. Now let's see how to use a Magic School tool. Now, for example, let me just, as I said, I want to create a lesson plan. Okay, this is a tool which all teachers would always want to use. So let me just go back to the Magic School interface. Now I have Magic Tools, and now I want to create a lesson plan. So I'll just go to my lesson plan. Now on the top you can see clear inputs. That means I can write down the prompt again, and here there is an exemplar. Now exemplar basically means how a lesson plan can be created or how a lesson plan has been created. The beauty of Magic School AI is that for your own lesson plan, you can create an exemplar. There's a tool for creating exemplars for your own lesson plan. So let me look here. 6th grade. Maybe I would like to increase the grade. Maybe I want to go to 9th grade. And what is the topic you want? You have to be very specific about the topic which you want. There's some additional criteria, and there are some standards. Standards means what standard do you want? Like there are international standards, and we also have NCF here. Whatever you want, you can write here. So here I'm writing topic. For example, what topic do you want? I want, for example, quadratic equations in mathematics. Fine. For example, I want this topic. I want to create a lesson plan. Now, when you look at this option here, you can see add file. Now, add file, what does this mean? This means, for example, we all have been teaching for a number of years, and there are some teachers who have been teaching for a long time, and they already have the lesson plans. So, for example, if you want a lesson plan to be generated in the form which you have already done, you can always upload the file from your system or from Google Drive or wherever, or also from a website, and you can give this recommendation, fine, please create an assignment like this. There is additional criteria where you can always mention, please create a lesson plan which can be used for different students coming from different communities, or maybe students who from different learning standards. All this can be written here. For example, if I talk of quadratic equations, I don't want college level equations. I just want the school level instructions, or I want I want the lesson for first time people, first time students who are learning quadratic equations. I can write it here. And let me just click on generate. In many schools, what happens is we are already given a format for lesson plan. In the add files section, you can mention what, add extra specification you can mention. I want the learning outcomes. I want the rubric. I want life skills covered. I also want extension activities. I want homework, what all has to be there. So all this can be mentioned in when you are creating the lesson plan. So here the lesson plan has come. This is a very generic lesson plan because I did not give specific instructions, but always, as I said, you can give specific instructions. So here we have the lesson plan, learning objective, assessments, key points, opening, how you're going to teach, introduction to new material, guided practice, and a number of other things. Of course, we all have to submit lesson plans in our school, and we have to maintain a record of the lesson plans. So this tool becomes very, very interesting. As I said, nothing is fixed. You can always change it. I can go to edit and I can change my lesson plan accordingly. One more thing which I would like to bring your attention to here is, how do you respond here? I can translate this lesson plan into a number of languages which are available here. I have Hindi, I have French, I have a number of other languages, a number of Indian languages also, which can be used and which can be used very easily. Like, for example, I want to convert it into Bengali, and I'll just click on this. The lesson plan is going to convert into Bengali, and I can use it. So I don't need to create a separate prompt. Please create the lesson plan in Hindi. I can simply convert the lesson plan which has been created using Bengali. So this is one of the things which we can use. Then I can copy the lesson plan, and it comes onto the onto this thing on a Word document or wherever you want. I can edit. I can use a read aloud feature if I want to listen to what the lesson plan looks like. And there are a number of options which we can do here. We can save the resource as a file. So this is how we can use a tool. Now, exemplar, how do we do the exemplar? Right? So let me just again go back to one of my options here. Okay. Because I need exemplar. So I have just typed exemplar, generate exemplar and non-exemplar responses to specific assignments. So if I click over here, assignment is what? For example, create an essay or write down an essay. The assignment is, for example, write down an essay on human values in the age of artificial intelligence, for example. This is the assignment which I want to give to my students. Now, rest is again, now for example, I want a rubric. I can click on and create a rubric. This is the assignment which I want, and now I want to create an exemplar. So I'll just click on generate. So this is an exemplar response which I can put in my assignment. I can always assign this. Okay, this is an exemplar response and this is a non-exemplar response. That means this is what I actually want and this is what I don't want. If I add a rubric, which can be done very easily, then I can also add some value points. Now, why I'm showing you all the exemplar and non-exemplar is that according to the NEP, according to the new education policy, we want students to be to take charge of their own learning. So we need to stop. I mean, as teachers, we need to stop marking right or wrong. We need to ask students to mark themselves right or wrong, or grade their assignment accordingly and then submit the assignment. If they have the exemplar, they will obviously compare their answer. They have the rubrics, they know where they stand a chance to get full points. So giving those rubrics, or even I would say ask the students to create their own rubrics, and giving their exemplar will obviously help the students take charge of their own learning, and they are going to be very confident in answering next time. So they know, okay, fine, this is what is required, this is what the teacher has said, or this is actually what is good. So we can use this very powerful option, exemplar, to create examples of what we actually want when we are creating an assignment. Coming back. Again, as I said, we can choose a tool, click the exemplar button, identify the strengths and areas for growth. That means, for example, depending on your output, you can obviously increase, you can obviously change the exemplar question. I'm not doing that because of like we have to cover a number of things right now. So you can always go through that. Modifying outputs. Now, as I showed you when I was doing this demonstration, I can translate the output, whatever output I've got. I can get questions based on the output. I can change the length of the output, and I can also summarize the output. Another very interesting option is I can ask Raina, the chatbot, to modify the output in a different way. So these all options are there. Once you have created a lesson plan, or once you have created your whatever you want to create, a text or whatever you want to create, whatever material you have done, any instruction material, this is what you can do to change it. We can copy or export the output. We can also read aloud, ask Raina again. Next is output history, saving and sharing resources. There is a share option which is there everywhere in the whenever you're creating a lesson plan. We also have output history. We can also share. Now let me again show you, demo this to you. You have teacher tools here, and you also have output history. Whatever I am creating, it is saved in Magic School AI history as output history. So look at this one here. I have values and AI. I recently did this. What tool did I use? Was it shared or not? I can share it. I'll just show you how. These are all the resources. I can bookmark the resources. I can have shared resources, and so on. So if I go to all resources, values and AI, I can click on it and I can see what I did. So I don't have to always copy and paste whatever I've done. I can get whatever I've done, I can get it here at the click of a button. This output history can be used later on. I can edit it. For example, right now only I showed you quadratic equations, introducing variables in grade 6. I was, exploring control structures in computer science earlier. I can click on it and show it to you how it looks. This is something which I did earlier, and you can see what I did with this resource. So I don't need to, again and again create. For example, this year I've done something. Next year I want to create it. No, I can simply go to output history and I can use this tool in such a powerful manner. I can also delete a resource, or I can, for example, I want to share it. I can share it to the world, share publicly, and this can be used by anyone who is using Magic School, and it can be added to the pool of educators who are sharing their tools. Again, you can, okay, this is one thing which I did not show to you, and that is sharing. There is an option of sharing resources here. Whenever I'm creating a resource, for example, I just go to output history. I already have a resource, don't need to create. For example, I click on values and AI. There is an option of sharing this resource. Okay, so we can share this resource as I just showed to you. I can do it in both ways. We also have Raina, which is an AI instructional coach, which is again a chatbot, and which it can be used just like any other chatbot to amplify your lesson plans or to improve the lesson plans, improve rubrics or some suggestions. We also have some additional educator resources in the resources page where you can go and earn certifications for whatever you're doing. Let me just click on this. There are professional development courses. We have AI Magic School certification courses. All these courses are for free and they can be added to your professional development program. They are counted in that. Okay, now I just come to Magic School AI. So we also have, just as I was talking about, specialized tools. For all teachers, we have the rubric generator, academic content generator, email responder, and AI resistant assignment suggestions. Now, what is an AI resistant assignment suggestion? AI resistant assignment suggestion is like many of us might have encountered this when we are using ChatGPT, or maybe we are using any AI tool to generate an assignment. The assignment comes out to be very simple. The assignment comes out to be substandard at times. And even if we are giving them questions, we are giving them prompts, changing it, we do not get what we require. So AI resistant assignment suggestion will give me suggestions on which prompt should I do so that the assignment is more challenging for the chatbot, and so higher level thinking among students is promoted. Now, for example, I'll just click on this. AI assist resistant assignment. Now I'm teaching grade 11th computer science, so I'll just go there. So I'll go to 11th grade. I want to create an assignment, programming assignment. For students with higher order thinking skills. So I want to do that, and this tool is going to generate how can I get the chatbot to do it. Design a new mobile app that addresses, and there's a number of ideas which it is giving to me. For example, let me just go to one of the ideas. It is writing over here. Develop a small software tool that solves a unique problem related to a hobby or whatever. So I can copy this and I can now go to my assignment and click and paste it there. So this becomes an idea, a prompt for higher order thinking skills. So it is going to give me suggestions on how to create a prompt so that I can create assignments which are of higher order thinking skills. Rubric generator, as I had also earlier mentioned, again a very, very important tool which is required now. We can give the grade level, we can give the point scale. I'm giving a point scale of 4 here. Then what is the objective? Here, for example, write an essay which is argumentative, or I can write any whatever assignment you are giving, you can create over here. For example, here I want to write an essay which is which is highly supportive of climate change, for example. And any additional things which I want to add, and I'll just click on generate. So here it is, the generator. So you can see a number of parameters here. Again, as I had not mentioned, they have given me a number of parameters. I have given a 4 scale. So excellent, proficient, developing, beginner, Thesis and position, again, obviously I can change this according to my requirement, my needs, and you can see how neatly and how nicely the rubric has been created for an essay in class 11th, right? So this is how we do it. Then we have back to school tools like syllabus generator. Again, as I said, this is something which is a mundane task, which is done every year. When we come back to school for all the classes, we have to create a generator syllabus. This can be done very easily using this tool. Class newsletter tool, as I had described earlier. Text dependent questions, you can create any text, and for example, especially in SST, this is very important. In SST, we want questions from every part of the text. So I can obviously input the text from the textbook, I can copy it using NCERT book, I can obviously do that and create text dependent questions. A very, I would say, interesting one is teacher joke generator. Like for example, if you want to, you're running out of ideas how to start off your day in a little humor, especially for students from 9th to 10th or even 12th. We must, strike a note with the students before we start teaching. So this can also be helpful. For science teachers, we have 3-dimensional science assessment generator. 5E model science lesson plan. As I said, we can create a lesson plan which can, go through the 5 E's: engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate. Multiple explanations for complex concepts. Now, for example, we have a complex concept. Maybe in mathematics, we have differentiation. Maybe we have calculus, where we have a lot of difficult concepts. So we can have clear explanations which can be generated, and this can help students to understand. They can be very simple, small modules or small, anecdotes which can be used by the teacher. For maths teachers, a number of tools are there, like the math storyboard problems. For younger children, they always, when you give them a sum, very easy to do. But when you give them a word problem, it becomes difficult for them to comprehend and understand. So teachers can actually storify the concept and create questions based on that. Then you want to make, maybe you have a classroom having people from all different places, maybe you're teaching in an international school. So in that case, you want to make whatever lesson is there relevant to that international group of students, so that can be used here. We also have, nowadays, in all the schools, we have a special educator, which has been made compulsory by the MOE. So if we have a special educator, of course, we need some special plans, individualized education program for students with special needs. We also need plans for students of different, maybe physical disabilities also. So all this can be done using IEP generator. We have also text leveler tool, like for example, a small text cannot be read by students having visual impairments. So this text leveler tool can help us increase the font size, or maybe increase the color, change the color, change the color according to the grammar, according to, for example, a verb would have a different color, a noun would have a different color. So that can be done here, and so on. Rubric generator I've just used with every one of you, so you can see that. Academic content generator, I'll just show it to you. Email responder also. Okay, now let me just go back to the tool here, and I would like to show you one very important tool, and that is YouTube video questions. So let me just click on this. This is the last one I'm going to show it to you. So here I can actually write down the script of an entire YouTube video and show it to you. So let me just show. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, fine. Okay, is that fine now? Yeah, okay. So let me just go to one YouTube video. I'll just click on YouTube video. I will look for an educational video, and I'll just go with photosynthesis. And here I have photosynthesis. I would require the script of this. So I can click, I can just get down into and get the, just a second.
I think, ma'am, we can select another video which is having a description, so it will be easier.
Yeah, actually I had stored it and I'm not able to find it now. Maybe I'll just go with this. I just hope it has a transcript too. Okay, I'll just write over here with script, with transcript. This is a reel, just a second.
Okay, ma'am, what I think, and I'll suggest you that we are just since running a lack of time and we are having just a very few time. So I do have one very important question. Is there anything important, ma'am, we are left out with any important tool in Magic School AI?
No.
So, ma'am, before I wind up this session, what actually I understood, and I think what are all the viewers who are watching this session live, one thing personally which I like about this Magic School AI is it's completely very easy to access. We might have been accessing our mailbox, which is called as Gmail. Sometimes we go to just buy and book the tickets for train tickets or flight tickets. So we often see the options that we can filter the particular seats, particular timings of our flight of train according to our need. We can just turn on the recommendations or turn off the recommendations. So somehow I think it is very easy to use. It is very helpful that how we can mark the important tool in AI. But my important question to you, ma'am, is I'm talking about the 20 to 30 years back terms of education. I mean the teachers who are educating and who are teaching our students when they were students. We had seen and heard a lot of times that whenever the new education session starts in July month, the teachers start teaching the lessons and chapters and they just try to cover the complete session in an academic year. But when they see that now we are on January month, February month and we are left with a lot of syllabus, they start teaching the syllabus in a very fast manner. Ma'am, how do you think? I'm asking this question in terms of our students and our teachers also. How this Magic School AI can save the time in academic educators, in students' life, in their personal education academic life. What do you think? How this can get, one can receive the benefit from Magic School AI?
Like I mentioned here, there's a lot of tasks which are mundane, like creating a lesson plan, creating assignments. A lot of teacher time goes into that. And of course, the classroom time also goes into that. Like we have a classroom where we have to ask students questions and we have to do assessment. Earlier, there was the only way. We had a class test, a pen and paper test. So using Magic School, we can create those tests online, distribute them online, let the students do them, or let the student do a flipped learning of the lesson plan. There is a flipped learning module in which the lesson plan can be given to the child and the child can study at home and come back.
Okay.
Half the job is done. So we can use that. We can also use a smart tool which is revising what the previous lesson was about. We can use all that and a number of other tools like I said, assignment generator, YouTube video generator, YouTube video questions and so on.
So somehow, ma'am, it similarly looks like we are accessing our mailbox, Gmail mailbox, and it is very easy to use. And the best thing which I personally like is it saves time. You just have to give the command what you are expecting, and the suggestions and the result which Magic School AI gives, it is above my expectations. So this is the best part which I personally liked. So ma'am, since we are running lack of time and the time is not allowing us to continue this session, but yes, today we had learned a lot of things, and I hope the viewers who are watching this session live or they might be watching this session afterwards this live ends up. They will be very helpful. They will be able to understand that how exactly Magic School AI is very helpful. So ma'am, I would like to give you a very thank you for giving your time and teaching us so beautifully.
Thank you so much.
So she was Neeru Mittal ma'am, and she was PGT in computer science, and she was helping our viewers to understand in today's topic on which we were covering and we were discussing an important tool, that is Magic School AI. So before I wrap this session, let me tell you that today on day 3 we had learned and discussed a lot of things on Magic School AI, what exactly it is, how a student or an educator can take the benefits, can take the advantage from this particular tool. But don't forget to join us tomorrow, that is on 31st of July, Thursday at sharp 4 p.m. We'll be discussing, learning a lot of things on an important tool, which is Microsoft Reading Coach. What exactly it is, how we can get the benefits, how we can get the advantages. We can learn a lot of things. So don't forget to join tomorrow at 4 p.m. And now before I wrap this session, important announcement for the students of grade 4 and 7. Now you can go ahead and purchase the textbooks online on Flipkart, Amazon and NCERT's official website. Now let's have a quick look what next you will be watching on today PM eVIDYA channel. So after some time at 5 p.m. you will be watching our special session named Sahyog on an important topic, self-discipline, on PM eVIDYA channel 6 to 12. So this is me, Deepak Mishra, now just wrapping up with this session and with the commitment that we will be coming once back again with important topic, another session, another guest. We will be learning a lot of things. Till the time, take care of yourself, keep smiling, keep learning and keep watching PM eVIDYA channels. Namaskar.